Welcome to DebtCircle Key Roundups. Bharat Forge's board meets August 10th to weigh capital raising options, QIP, rights issue, further public offer, and ADRs. That flexibility matters given their mixed quarter. Profit fell 17.4% to rupees 233 crores, though revenue grew 17.5% to rupees 4,528 crores.
Big renewable energy news. Macquarie is closing in on a 96% stake in Fourth Partner Energy, valuing it at roughly 19,000 crores rupees, about 1 billion US dollars. They've already commissioned 3.6 gigawatts and are targeting 9 gigawatts by 2031.
On liquidity, the RBI expects banking system liquidity to peak between rupees 4 and 5 lakh crore in September, driven by forex swap inflows and FCNR deposits worth around 60 billion US dollars. That surplus should ease after September once tax outflows kick in.
The RBI is also tightening rules on large NBFCs. Those with assets above 1 lakh crore rupees will soon face mandatory public listing. They held firm on that threshold despite industry pushback to raise it.
On rates, RBI kept the repo rate steady at 5.25% for a fourth meeting, raised its GDP forecast to 6.7% for 2026 to 2027, and trimmed inflation projections. That stability is giving banks room to expand credit.
And after 22 years, the RBI is restarting licenses for new urban cooperative banks alongside its first review of the Rural Cooperative Credit Framework since 2008.
Indian Bank, meanwhile, wants to more than double its business to rupees 35 lakh crore by 2032. MSME loans are growing 17 to 18% and corporate lending is up to 14 to 15%.
Interestingly, despite a 125 basis point repo rate cut, deposit growth actually accelerated to 13.3% by June, proof that deposits track the rate structure more than real returns.
On the flip side, microfinance shrank 4% to rupees 3,26,000 crore, a seventh straight quarterly decline, as uneven monsoons hit rural demand. In a first, the RBI is piloting polymer currency notes next financial year, starting with 10 and 20 rupee denominations, 2 billion notes, to test durability. It'll circulate alongside paper currency, not replace it.
Earth Reinsurance has become the first reinsurer incorporated in GIFT City, focused on climate and catastrophe risk. Parent company InRisk Labs raised 27 million US dollars in Series A funding to back it.
The rupee touched a one-month high, opening at 94.92 against the dollar on falling crude prices before closing at 95.1175, its strongest since early July.
SEBI is proposing depository receipts for Indian REITs and InvITs, making it easier for foreign investors like pension funds to access India's infrastructure assets, which distribute at least 90% of net cash flow.
The RBI is also pushing a new AI governance framework for banks, board-approved risk management, independent AI validation, and full accountability even for third-party AI errors.
ONGC standalone profit surged 112% to rupees 17,034 crores on higher crude prices, though consolidated profit fell 43% due to Hindustan Petroleum's losses.
Bond yields look steady too. The 6.94% 2036 bond is expected between 6.75 and 6.8%, helped by falling oil prices and a dovish RBI tone.
On credit, India Ratings downgraded Dhampur Sugar Mills to INDA+, though it affirmed the stronger short-term rating at INDA 1+.
Eris Life Sciences drew a rupees 64 crore 40 lakh working capital loan from Axis Bank, but their total debt stayed flat, suggesting refinancing rather than new leverage.
India Ratings reaffirmed JSW Renew Energy 10's rating 2, backed by a 25-year power purchase agreement at rupees 2.66 per kilowatt-hour for their Gujarat solar project.
India's steel market is set to grow at a high single-digit pace in fiscal 2027, up from 7.4%, powered by infrastructure and auto demand, though EU export curbs remain a risk.
MCX invested 10 crores rupees into India International Bullion Holding (IFSC), expanding into the bullion market. Its stock is already up 67.8% over the year.
Private banks are chasing retail lending too. HDFC Bank's retail book is now 52% of total loans, while Axis Bank's retail disbursements rose 18%.
On payments, the government may allow a merchant discount rate of 0.25 to 0.4% on UPI transactions above 2,000 rupees, targeting just 5% of transactions that make up 65% of total value.
And finally, over 5 years, Indian banks wrote off rupees 3,20,000 crores in loans to large industries, with public sector banks bearing rupees 2,43,000 crores of that. Agriculture write-offs hit rupees 1,19,000 crores against a backdrop of over 10,000 farming suicides in 2024.
A lot of ground covered today, Vijendra, from capital raises to some sobering numbers on agrarian distress.
That's all for today's episode of the Debt Circle podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.